Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that really tries to get into some fascinating source material and, pull out the insights that resonate.
Glad to be here and glad you could join us today.
Absolutely, especially now, right? The world feels like it's just shifting so fast. Have you ever stopped and really thought about what spiritual awakening even means today with like all the tech everywhere?
It's a huge question. It can feel exciting, definitely, but also, yeah, a bit much sometimes.
Much.
Overwhelming even.
Totally. So that's what today's deep dive is all about. We're trying to navigate these, well, profound changes. It's about embracing that spiritual side of ourselves, finding balance with all this tech, and seeing how they might actually work together.
Yeah, how they can support each other, not just be in conflict.
Exactly. Now, our sources today, they use some specific spiritual terms, but we're going to do our best to unpack it all, make it clear whether you're like deep into this stuff already or just curious.
We'll break it down.
So we've got two really unique perspectives. First up, something called the elemental kingdom. It's described as a collective consciousness, really tied to nature, the planet itself.
Fascinating concept. Almost like the Earth's own energetic intelligence speaking.
Right. And then we switch gears to what's called a goddess perspective. This one offers insights into personal ascension, life patterns, co-creation, big stuff.
Big important stuff for navigating these times.
So our mission today, basically, pull out the best bits, the real wisdom from these sources. We want to help you figure out how to live as what they call a physical spiritual being, how to consciously shape your life to match your, highest potential. Especially now, it's all about harmonizing your own spiritual awakening.
Finding that sweet spot between the spiritual and the everyday, especially with technology in the mix.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, it's definitely a rich landscape. And that theme of spiritual awakening, it really does run through everything we're looking at today.
It feels very relevant.
It is. This intersection of our inner journey with, well, everything happening externally, tech, environment, it creates challenges, sure, but also really amazing opportunities for growth. These sources, even though they come from different angles, they really converge on conscious living, how we actively participate.
Participating in our own evolution and maybe the planet's too.
Exactly.
All right, let's kick things off then with the elemental kingdom. So the source calls them a collective consciousness, the energy of the elemental kingdom itself, working with Mother Earth, with nature. What comes to mind when you hear that phrase, elemental kingdom?
For me, it's that immediate feeling of deep connection, like the roots of things. Yeah. And the source really clarifies it. They say they're a supportive and guiding energy.
Like a bridge.
Yeah, exactly. A bridge between nature, Mother Earth, and the creator. Their main job seems to be reminding everything of its unity, its connection to the source, to all that is the creator.
So they're not bosses telling Earth what to do.
Not at all. The key insight, I think, is that they're more like the essence of Earth's wisdom, reminding us, and the Earth itself, of that interconnectedness we already have. It's fundamental, really, for any kind of spiritual awakening, remembering that unity.
Cosmic communicators, maybe. Or like energetic architects keeping things aligned. It says they work through many dimensions and with many beings and souls acting as bridges and companions. That's huge.
It's a vast role. And what's really interesting is how they talk about delivering the divine will of the creator. But, and this is crucial, they immediately say, you already have this within you.
Oh, right. So it's not like they're bringing it to us.
Exactly. They say you're already receiving and recognizing it constantly. So their message isn't, here's the truth from outside. It's more like a confirmation, a reminder of that inner knowing you possess. An echo, like you said, not a command.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. If that divine will is already inside us and we're constantly getting it, how does that change how we see external guidance, even from, a big collective like the elementals? Does it mean we don't need them, or?
It doesn't mean we don't need them, but it changes the dynamic.
Yeah.
It just shifts it away from like a top-down hierarchy guidance from above towards something more supportive, non-hierarchical.
Yeah.
It's encouragement to trust what you already know inside.
So they're confirming our own intuition.
Precisely. They're not claiming to be the only way to truth. They're validating your connection. They become companions on that journey of self-discovery, which is, so central to an authentic spiritual awakening. It's about inner empowerment, not relying on someone else to tell you.
Okay, now this next bit, it really grabbed me. Feels like a bit of a warning, actually. They compare right now to the time of Atlantis.
Yeah, that's a strong parallel.
They say back then technology got super powerful, so powerful, just overwhelmed the efforts to keep things balanced spiritually. That's pretty stark, isn't it? Makes you wonder if we're in a loop.
It's a potent warning, for sure, right there in the source. And they say the elementals are working now, just like we are, hopefully, to create that balance again between the tech and the spirit.
We have to allow both, right? They say they need to be side by side, supporting, assisting each other.
Yes. And the warning is crystal clear. If you try to erase one or the other, get rid of tech, or ignore the spirit, it leads to chaos. Integration, not rejection, is the message.
Chaos. Wow. So how does knowing about Atlantis, that historical context, make us look at our tech today differently? Are we maybe like sleepwalking into the same pattern? And what does that mean for our spiritual awakening if we don't learn the lesson?
What's fascinating is that cyclical nature. This isn't new. Humanity keeps wrestling with integrating power, whether it's tech or something else, with our spiritual growth. The Atlantis story, it's like a chance to learn from the past.
To choose balance this time.
Exactly. To consciously choose it. It reframes this whole tech boom, not just as progress, but as a spiritual test. Can we hold on to our spiritual core while our tools get smarter? Can we make sure they serve us?
And their response to this potential imbalance, they talk about a magnetic energy, something they're encouraging, pulling people back to nature, like Earth sending out a signal.
That's a great way to put it. And they explain why nature is so vital right now. As tech gets stronger, they say, the strength of the human being is nature. Why? Because connecting with nature gives you direct access to your divine self.
Is it the only way, though?
No, they acknowledge other paths. You can find truth anywhere doing anything, art, connection, whatever. But nature is highlighted as particularly organic and grounded, a very direct line to the creator within you. It's like coming home energetically.
Right. So maybe not the only way, but perhaps a really key one for these times. They actually say, within nature, you will find the keys that really unlock your being. I mean, I've felt that pull, just needing to get outside, away from screens.
Me too.
And I know people who've made huge changes, moved out of cities, wanting that connection. It feels real. Almost physical.
And if we connect that to the bigger picture, it's not just, oh, I enjoyed that walk. It's presented as foundational for spiritual growth, for awakening. It grounds this sometimes abstract idea of awakening in the physical world. Our environment matters. It's part of the process.
It suggests real spiritual growth isn't about escaping the physical, but embracing it fully.
Yes, embracing it as the pathway. Experiencing the divine in the
It
physical.
leads right into their next big idea. Being physical, spiritual beings on the earth. It's not about floating off somewhere. It's about being here fully as essential for growth.
All right.
How do they say we actually do that, like practically?
The goal they talk about is merging Earth's lifestyle and your spiritual self to live at your highest spiritual potential in the physical reality. And the examples are really down to earth.
Like what?
Walking outside more often, gardening, planting food, painting nature scenes, listening to nature sounds, just observing, or maybe it is a bigger move to the countryside for some. The point is recognizing that impulse when it comes.
So it's not a chore list. It's about hearing that inner nudge. They stress it's about hearing that call within you, not doing it because you feel you should. So what does this actually mean day to day? How do we tell the difference between that real inner call and just, another obligation or what everyone else says we should do? That seems vital for an awakening.
That really raises the question of discernment, doesn't it? Authenticity. If it comes from that inner pull, that genuine longing, it's likely aligned. If it feels like duty or guilt or trying to meet expectations, maybe not so much. It pushes us to really listen inwardly.
And to avoid that trap of, disembodied spirituality where we're all spirit and no body.
Exactly. It's about integrating. Seeing our physical lives, our bodies, our connection to Earth, not as distractions from spirit, but as the very means through which spirit expresses and learns here. It's a gift.
It's such a powerful shift, finding the sacred, not just in quiet rooms, but in the garden, on a walk, watching a bird. And this integration feels crucial when we loop back to technology. The elementals say it's impossible in this time to ignore technology without creating imbalance. It's about embracing it, not running from it.
And they add this really fascinating layer. The idea that we might carry coding or fear from that time Atlantis within us.
Energetically.
Whoa, like subconscious programming.
Yeah. And they suggest this ancient fear needs healing. If we don't address it, we might just unconsciously recreate that same story of tech imbalance now. Our current struggles with tech might actually have these deep, maybe even past life roots surfacing now for healing. It's part of the collective awakening.
That's a really intense thought.
Yeah.
That our anxieties about tech might be echoes from Atlantis. So the elementals say this is a time for listening, listening inside, listening to nature, and even listening to technology. What does that mean? It's about acceptance, deep listening, following that inner pull. The main theme, they keep saying, is creating balance. Maybe take a moment, reflect on your relationship with tech, any underlying fear, anxiety, feeling overwhelmed. Maybe that's some of that coding surfacing.
And listening to technology. How do we do that? It sounds weird.
I think it's less about the literal sounds and more about understanding its energy, its impact, interacting with it consciously, not just being passive consumers, but mindful users. How does it affect your mind, your body, your spirit, using it intentionally rather than letting it use you? Conscious coexistence.
Makes sense. And if this balance feels hard or that Atlantean coding feels strong, they offer help, right? The elemental beings.
Yes, directly.
Yeah.
They say you can call on them for help in this step-by-step process. They're available, not distant.
And they're happy to help.
More than happy. They use words like overjoyed, honor, delight. They have magical powers to assist. It's not a chore for them. It's joyful. They end with this beautiful invitation. What can we create together? We are waiting. It's about collaboration, not just rescue.
That idea of collaboration, working with these unseen forces, these earth energies, that's really inspiring. Changes how you think about spiritual awakening. It's not just a solo grind.
It really does. And it brings up that question, doesn't it? How does asking for help actually empower us while also reminding us we're part of this huge interconnected web? It suggests the universe wants to co-create with us if we just ask and are open. It's an interactive dance, not just isolated effort.
Okay, so from that grounded, collaborative energy of the elementals, really connecting us to Earth, let's shift perspective. We're moving now to this goddess voice. It feels broader, more expansive maybe, looking at personal ascension, the energy work involved, digging into our individual spiritual awakening.
Yeah, the focus definitely shifts inward here. It's very personal, very introspective, recognizing our own journey within these massive cosmic shifts. And the first step, right away, is nurturing the self. Not as selfish, but as totally foundational.
She starts with this lovely greeting, heart to heart, and then boom, right away, invites us to celebrate that you are here, that you're alive, that you're on Earth, and that you're taking this time to nurture yourself. That feels kind of radical in our busy world, just celebrating being here.
It is. And she pairs it with something practical. Breath work. A simple but profound practice. Every breath in be a breath that is filled with light. Visualize it filling you up. Every breath out be a breath that is letting go of whatever it is that no longer serves you.
So it's not just relaxing, it's active cleansing.
Exactly. Energetic cleansing, purification, integration, making space inside for the new energies of awakening to come in.
I know for me, and probably lots of people listening, just finding time to breathe and nurture ourselves feels like a challenge. But that simple power of the breath, we underestimate it, don't we? It's like a little sanctuary we always have.
It's so accessible. An immediate way to start grounding and releasing, like clearing out the mental and emotional clutter. It's essential for spiritual readiness. Before you can really work with higher energies or understand life patterns, you got to make space. This simple breath practice sets the stage for everything else, helps those higher frequencies integrate better.
Then she connects this inner work straight to our bigger purpose, saying, you are here at this time of ascension, these dramatic changes on Earth. And she explicitly says, this is why you chose to incarnate at this time. Whoa. Like, we signed up for this intensity.
Right, and she gets it. She compassionately acknowledges that feeling of, oh, didn't really want it to be so hard, which is so validating because, yeah, it is hard sometimes. Then she talks about how often we try to manifest one specific thing, but something else shows up instead. And later we realize that was actually what we needed to have in your life. It reframes things. Maybe life isn't about getting what we want, but what our soul actually needs for growth.
Oh man, that hits home. How often does life surprise us like that? Giving us the medicine we need, not the candy we asked for. It really highlights the power of being open, but also how hard it is to let go of our own agendas.
For sure. She emphasizes that openness for whatever it is that may be going on can unlock even greater opportunities than you anticipate.
Yeah.
Connecting this to the bigger picture, it's about spiritual surrender. Trusting there's a larger plan, maybe beyond what our ego wants right now.
Letting go of control.
Yeah, moving beyond just ego preferences to what the soul is actually unfolding. That's a huge part of spiritual growth. Trusting that deeper intelligence guiding our awakening. Openness lets the real gifts come through, even if they look different than we imagined.
Okay, she then gives a really detailed grounding meditation. It sounds essential for handling these higher energies she talks about, navigating ascension. Sounds like it connects different layers of us. Can you walk us through it?
Yeah, it's quite comprehensive, really integrating our whole being. First, breathe deep into the heart center. Really feel its energy. Then, intentionally send a stream of energy down through the solar plexus, our power center.
Below the ribs.
Yeah. Then the sacral, creativity, emotions, lower belly area.
Mm.
And finally, the root center, base of the spine, our security. Send that energy right down into the earth, anchoring within this space, really connecting to Gaia.
Okay, anchored, like plugging into the earth, but it comes back up too.
Exactly. Then you allow the flow of the planet, the flow of Gaia, to move back up through those same centers, back into the heart, completes the circuit.
Got it.
Then from the heart, the energy goes up through the throat communication, the third eye intuition between the brows, the head center, top of the head, higher thought, and then into what she calls the crystalline energy body.
Crystalline energy body, what's that?
Think of it like your subtle, high-frequency energy blueprint, your divine template, pure consciousness connection. And this whole upward flow connects you to your higher self.
Okay. Connected to the higher self. What do we do there? What's the point of that connection in the meditation?
Good question. In that space, the instruction is to observe whatever it is that you may be working on. Could be goals, problems, whatever. But, and this is key, observe it as an observer without connecting.
Detached observation.
Exactly. Gain perspective without getting tangled up in the emotions or the story. Then you're encouraged to consciously clear out that space, clear out that energy that's maybe blocking things, making room for the newest and the best potential.
And it goes even higher than the higher self.
One more step, guiding the energy even further up into your soul essence. This is described as pure, unconditional love that supports you, your true eternal self beyond earthly stuff. And in that space, you might even get glimpses of other lifetimes or parts of this lifetime, seeing the bigger picture. It's this amazing full spectrum connection. From earth grounding all the way up to the soul, it really emphasizes our whole being and gives a framework for awakening that includes everything, integrated on all levels.
So after that powerful connection, she talks about merging with our energy, shifting everything into the space of the all that is. What is the all that is, and how do we open to that? Sounds huge.
It is huge. The all that is basically everything. The fabric of creation, total existence, consciousness, energy, source. She urges us to open our consciousness, open all of your senses to merge with it. And then she drops this concept that helps make sense of how patterns work. Time is nonlinear.
Okay, yeah, that one melts my brain sometimes. How does she explain nonlinear time in a way that helps with our spiritual journey?
It's crucial for understanding growth and awakening. She says time moves in a spiral motion. Imagine climbing a spiral staircase, not walking a straight line.
Yeah.
You might hit a landing that looks really similar to one you were on before. Same view, maybe similar challenges.
Yeah.
But you're actually higher up the spiral. You have new perspective, new tools.
Ah, so that's why old stuff seems to come back around.
Exactly. Why challenging experiences we thought we were done with seem to come around again. It's the spiral. She says these repetitions happen because of very strong impulses or karmic agreements like soul contracts or intentions we set before we were born. They create triggers to give us chances to learn and grow.
That makes so much sense. It explains feeling like you're reliving lessons. It's not going backward. It's another turn on the spiral, a chance to integrate it differently from a higher place.
Totally. And that idea, it's both comforting and challenging, isn't it? Comforting because the universe gives us more chances. Challenging because we have to consciously engage to actually break the cycle, not just repeat it. Understanding this is so key for spiritual awakening. We see the path of evolution, not just a frustrating loop.
So what's happening right now with these ascended energies she mentions? The ones integrating into us and the planet, how does that link to the repeating pattern?
She explains that these ascended energies, think of them as higher frequency energies, new potential, like an upgraded operating system, are integrating first and foremost into each one of you and then into the planet. But here's the catch. If you're still stuck in some of that old repetitive pattern, this new energy is not able to fully integrate.
Like trying to run new software on an old computer.
Exactly. The old patterns block the new energy.
That's critical. Okay, so how do we spot these patterns? The ones blocking the upgrade, blocking our deeper spiritual awakening. How do we even know what they are?
Her advice is direct. Take a look at your life and consider something that might come up for you again and again and again. But, and this is the really important part, look at the essence. the energy or the essence that it represents, not just the surface details.
What does that mean, the essence?
Like she gives an example. It may be that the situation is different and the person is different, but it's that relationship with family members and then later on, relationship with work people.
Hmm.
The dynamic is the same, maybe feeling unseen or needing control or whatever the core theme is. The actors change, but the play stays the same until you see the essence.
So for our own self-reflection,
Hmm.
how do we cut through the story and find that essence, instead of just getting caught up in the drama of who did what?
It requires getting underneath the surface narrative. She encourages opening our consciousness to understand why.
Hmm.
Why did you implement this in this life? What soul lesson were you trying to learn? And she adds this fascinating twist. Sometimes the understanding is straightforward, but other times it is almost the reverse. You think the problem is one thing, but what it's teaching you is the opposite.
Like, you think the problem is not getting enough respect, but the real lesson is about self-respect.
Exactly. Or thinking you need external validation when the lesson is radical self-acceptance. It demands real honesty, being open to uncomfortable truths, pushing past our usual stories about ourselves. That's deep spiritual awakening work.
She then gets specific, highlighting common areas where these patterns show up during awakening. Let's start with abundance.
Yeah, for many, it's about seeing all the abundant energy that is right here. Not just money, but love, joy, support, opportunities, opening up to receive that flow, healing whatever blocks it, shifting from a mindset of lack to one of receiving.
And security, that's a big one.
Huge. But she defines it as feeling secure within yourself, not relying on external things. It boils down to, can you trust yourself? Can you believe in yourself? Can you trust your intuition? She says to let that inner security infuse everything. And then she links security directly to intuition. If you seek security in your life, open to your intuition.
Wow. Trusting your inner voice is your security. That's powerful. And relationships, probably where these patterns play out most obviously for a lot of us.
Oh, absolutely. Common patterns she mentions are seeking things in others that we don't give ourselves, getting caught in control dynamics, asking who is in control, feeling disempowered. The instruction is clear. Clear it out now. Let energy flow that helps you know who you are as a person on your own and understand healthy giving and receiving.
So abundance, security, relationships.
Yeah.
These core human needs are addressed energetically in spiritual awakening.
Exactly. It's about shifting the inner energy pattern to create a different outer reality. Not just changing circumstances, but changing the underlying energy.
Okay, so after all this deep work identifying patterns, understanding the essence, clearing energy, she invites us to affirm a clean slate, to consciously claim this higher vibration.
Yeah, she encourages us to consciously affirm stepping into this higher vibrational frequency with a clean slate and clear intention. This includes being open to receive, ready, and happy to use all of your senses, all of your energy in this new alignment, and trusting that this clear intention will all be expressed within your life.
It's like planting a flag in the new territory, declaring you're ready. That feels really empowering, actively calling it in as part of your spiritual awakening.
It really is. And that affirmation, it's not just wishful thinking. It's an energetic declaration. It sets the blueprint. It translates into daily life by shaping how you intend to show up, how you interact. It makes the inner shifts real, manifest. It's becoming the conscious creator of your own awakened life.
All right, let's take all that personal work, the integration, the awakening, the power of intention, and zoom way out. We're talking co-creating with planetary energies now. The goddess perspective shifts here, right, from the individual to the collective power we hold, reminding us we're not doing this alone.
Exactly. This is where spiritual principles become planetary service, she says at point blank. Every one of you have the ability to connect with something that may be going on, and then you can infuse light, you can transition. It's a huge statement about our individual power.
And she reassures us too, saying, even if you think I am but one person, understand that there are probably millions of others that are doing the same thing. So when it comes to doing energy work, you are not alone. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Millions of us working together energetically, creating this massive field of intention affecting global events.
It totally reframes individual action, doesn't it? It validates that idea of collective consciousness having a real, unified impact. Our seemingly small acts of sending light or holding intention, they're adding to this huge global shift. It's moving beyond just personal practice into collective co-creation. Our spiritual awakening isn't just for us, it connects to the whole planet.
And to make this real, she gives a super specific example. Working with Hurricane Erin, which was in the Atlantic back on August 18th, this gives us actual steps. How did she say to even connect with something like a hurricane's energy?
The instruction is basically use your consciousness. Send out energy and then just pay attention. You might tap into it by seeing it in your mind's eye, or maybe you just feel a response emotionally, physically.
Right.
Using news images as a focus is fine too.
Okay.
And right away, the visualization starts collectively.
Hmm.
Imagine a group of people that surround this hurricane, emphasizing you're part of a team.
Safety in numbers, energetically speaking. Then she gives actual techniques for working with the energy, not just vague send light. What's the first one?
The first one focuses on that massive swirling energy of the storm. Visualize pulling that energy and sending it down into Gaia. So instead of destructive wind spiraling on the surface, the energy goes down deep, and the Earth itself absorbs this energy.
Transmuting it, redirecting it into the Earth.
Exactly. Not fighting it, but transforming it into nourishment for the planet.
Fascinating. Okay, technique number 2.
This one involves sending energy in the opposite direction that it is moving,
Right.
counter-rotating the spiral, essentially. She notes, realistically, that at first nothing might seem to happen. But as you persist envisioning this counterforce, it causes it to come to a standstill and it diminishes the intensity.
So actively canceling out its momentum with energy, bringing it back towards balance.
Precisely. Direct energetic intervention.
That sounds intense. What about the third technique? It seemed different again.
The third one is about protection, pushing it out into the Atlantic to diffuse it before it hits land. This involves creating an energetic wall. Visualize it going deep into the earth and way up high, much bigger than the storm itself.
The wall made of?
Made of love, light, and tension. You send energy from your heart, maybe visualizing pink, sparkling, or white light, making the wall very thick and very solid. The goal is to redirect the winds, guide the storm back out to the ocean. And she notes, again, many that have created a wall and we are adding to it. Collective reinforcement.
So it's like we're all contributing bricks to this energetic wall. Amazing. And there was a fourth technique, using color.
Yes, using color as an energy. She suggests sending purple or violet light into this hurricane. Why? Because the intrinsic energy of that color will also begin to slow things down so that it will find a more natural balance.
Purple and violet. Calming, transforming colors and energy work, right?
Often seen that way, yeah.
Yeah.
What's amazing here is how practical and detailed these techniques are. It's not just theory, it's a step-by-step spiritual toolkit for actually engaging with planetary events, applying spiritual awakening principles directly to the world.
And the really cool part, the confirmation, is that she says she could see the impact. It wasn't just hoping it worked.
Right. She observes, already I can see a difference. This calming going more and more into this hurricane. You begin to see it becoming softer and gentler. She even mentions seeing Poseidon and other beings of the ocean helping out.
Poseidon, like nature spirits or intelligences.
That's how I interpret it. Powerful nature forces aligning with human intention for balance. And she also notes that any mechanical amplification, maybe human tech influences or other energies, was also diffused by this work. But she adds the important point. This may not be all happening in real time in this now moment, but everything that you're doing is having an impact.
That's so important. Our linear minds want instant results, but energy work might operate outside of that. It still has an impact, that unseen influence. It's empowering to know our focus energy matters, even if we don't see the result immediately. And this isn't just for hurricanes, right? This applies more broadly.
Absolutely. She makes it clear. You can do this if there's an earthquake. You can do this for flooding, a volcano, a tsunami, the core idea. No matter what it is that happens on the earth, it is all energy. And you can work with that energy to seek it to find balance and to seek it to be neutralized, recognizing the energetic reality behind everything.
And then she brings it right back home to us. Everything happening in your own body is all energy, and you can work with it to help it become neutralized and help it to be in the optimal strength. Same principle, just focused inward.
It's that fundamental microcosm-macrocosm link. Our bodies, thoughts, emotions, all energy we can influence for healing, for strength. Then she introduces this idea of stepping back from the specific work, like the hurricane, to see the hologram.
The hologram, like the energetic blueprint of everything.
That's a good way to think of it. A multidimensional field connecting everything. So no matter where you are, you can find your place and you can infuse into the hologram your own transition. Or if you want to work with the energy of wherever it is that you live, you can work locally or globally within this hologram.
So our intention goes into this larger blueprint. How does that energy flow? Where does it go?
2 ways, she says. An aspect of it goes out to the universe, creating the balance in the universe. Whoa! And the remainder goes down. It moves down into the space of the earth through the collective consciousness until it anchors deep integration.
Wow, out to the universe and down into the earth.
Then it reverses, coming back up through the many layers of the earth, within the trees, the grass, the rivers, the water, infusing all life. And again, she notes seeing a significant difference in the hurricane after this holographic work. It reinforces that our conscious input shapes this whole energetic system.
The idea that my little intention put into this hologram helps balance the universe, that's massive. And so encouraging for anyone feeling small during their spiritual awakening, it gives such purpose. We have a real impact.
If we connect that to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not just local stuff. We're contributing to universal balance, interconnectedness on a cosmic scale.
Yeah.
It positions us as conscious co-creators, universal citizens. That's a seriously elevated view of our role, a powerful aspect of spiritual awakening, recognizing our energetic responsibility.
So bringing this huge concept back to our daily lives, she reminds us, in this time of ascension, you have a very unique opportunity to create your life. It's not passive, it's active creation time.
And she drills down to the core truth again. Energy is in everything. Energy is in your physical body. It's in your environment. It's in emotions. It's in the thoughts and beliefs. It's in everything that is within and around you. Meaning our ability to consciously work with energy, our own, our surroundings, is everything. It's our superpower, especially now during this awakening.
How do we know if we're aligned, if we're actually doing this conscious creation thing right during our spiritual awakening? What are the signs?
She gives really clear indicators. Simple, but profound. You feel good. Your intuition is flowing. Things fall into place in your life. When that's happening, this is all telling you, yes, I'm in alignment. Yes, I'm where I need to be. And yes, this is exactly what I'm seeking.
Those gut feelings, that
Yeah.
sense of flow, that's the feedback system.
Exactly. And she adds, don't forget to work with the energy of your environment because you're even more powerful than what you realize. It's about applying these principles everywhere, making them real.
So what does this all mean for us right now? How can we listening recognize those signs? How do we actively cultivate that alignment, deepen our spiritual awakening?
It means paying attention, cultivating that conscious awareness, actively participating, recognizing those inner cues, feeling good, intuition flowing, and taking intentional action. Maybe it's connecting with nature like the elementals suggested. Maybe it's clearing old patterns like the goddess Gaia did. Maybe it's sending light to a situation. Each action reinforces the alignment. It's this dynamic, ongoing co-creation. That's the essence of a fully lived, embodied spiritual awakening. Living with intention, knowing every thought, every action ripples out. Hashtag outro.
Wow. Okay, that was quite a journey today, wasn't it? We went deep.
Yeah.
This started with the elemental kingdom, that call to balance tech and nature, the potent Atlantis echo, that magnetic pull back to Earth.
Really grounding stuff, literally.
Totally. Then we shifted to the goddess perspective, understanding our purpose in these intense times,
Yeah.
anchoring the higher self, untangling those repeating life patterns through that spiral time idea. Powerful healing insights there.
Really digging into the personal work needed for ascension.
And finally, zooming out to our collective power. Working with planetary energies, those amazing practical techniques for something like a hurricane, the hologram, realizing our energetic reach.
That we're all connected and procreating on a massive scale.
Yeah, and the thread through it all, for your own spiritual awakening, it seems so clear now. This isn't passive. It's not something just happening to you. It's active. It's harmonization. It's conscious creation.
Every day. Every moment.
And it affects everything, your inner peace, your intuition, how secure you feel, but it also ripples out, affecting the world in ways we're just starting to understand. You have this incredible power inside you to balance, to heal, to contribute. Don't forget that.
You really are more powerful than you realize.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe just sit with this question for a bit. If every single thought, every intention carries real energy, and you are way more powerful than you think, what future are you consciously building right now? With your energy, your focus, for yourself, and maybe for the whole world?
It's a big question worth asking.
Keep listening inside. Keep exploring. Keep discovering that amazing co-creative power you have. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for being here.